Big story presented by Hyundai. All right, let's return to the All-Star game, which Team LeBron won in a 157-155 thriller over Team Giannis last night. The game was played in a brand-new format this year, and among the changes was the fourth quarter, where teams played an untimed period to a target score set after the third quarter. The result was an incredible, turning the usually defenseless and uninspired game into an entertaining spectacle like we hadn't seen in years. All right, did the NBA permanently fix this All-Star game?
You like my tease before, huh? You know damn well. I'm sitting there like, this is a nice format. And I understand that the NBA has a leg up, but based on the fact that you have a sport where you can play it in convenience, and then you go down to the corner, shoot. You watch the NBA All-Star game, you're like, that looks like that, good. You never conveniently see football players play that sport, so therefore, they don't have a leg up. You never see hockey just conveniently played. It's a rough, violent sport. NBA has a leg up. And then they go out there and change the format, and they make it more interesting. I'm like, this is the false competitiveness I wanted to see all the time. Yes, the optics is fake. Come on, man. Ain't nobody going for real.
What?
Whatever, y'all play it. Okay, I'm just, respect how great they are and respect that that ain't them at their best. So I'm still loving it. They're selling me.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, yeah, I got an appointment at 8:30, and Anthony Davis is going to the free throw line at 8:30, and I'm sitting there like, how anticlimactic. All this, and we gonna get there, and he gonna go up there and burn. First one, second one, oh, let's run and rush him. The pageantry, the cotton candy, the corniness, the fact that it didn't end on a high lets me know that, hey, this is the best glue job you can do for something that's permanently broken, which is all All-Star games, even though the NBA All-Star is the best of the worst. So I give them credit for doing it, but let's be real. Nobody went home pumped up off of the high of a free throw.
I was.
You off the free throw?
No, I was
got you.
excited about the game. But I agree with you, the game cannot end on a free throw. It has to be.
Basketball games never end on free throws.
No, the All-Star game can't end on a free throw.
Why not?
Because it's not the regular game. You're not playing regular rules.
Thank you.
Games end on free throws.
Regular games. This is an All-Star game.
They're not playing regular rules.
They're not playing regular rules.
Way.
So if it comes down to a foul, it should be a one-on-one for the bucket. It shouldn't be a free throw. Anybody can make a free throw.
we got free
not
kicks.
anybody. Not anybody. Anybody can make free throws.
Everybody can make
You know what I mean? Everybody can make free throws. But I think it shouldn't end on a free throw. As great as the game was, as great as the changes was, I think at the end of the game with a foul like that, even if it's Kyle Lowry and Anthony Davis, let them go one-on-one from the top of the key for the bucket, for the game-winning bucket.
You guys are forgetting.
Big three rules.
This was an experiment.
True.
I was in the building, like, no one knew what to expect. They didn't know that this was going to be any good. They didn't know that this was going to solve the problem.
Right.
And that even when we got to the fourth quarter, because the first three quarters, they were I mean, a little more
End of the third
competitive.
was
They started off
But
good
it-
now.
Yeah, they did.
Well,
Yeah,
but
started off good.
But the end of the third was set up because now you split two quarters, and let's see who's going to have the edge going into the fourth. But then the fourth, starting with Lowry taking a charge, and everybody's like, what the hell? And then, like, now Giannis is going with LeBron one-on-one and blocking his baseline fade, and now LeBron wants to get him back at the, and this thing just grew and grew and grew. So I get that you don't like that it ended on a free throw, but the other part of me was looking at it thinking, man, these dudes are going hard, and they did not expect to go hard. Like, I know where some cats were the night before.
Right.
They were not prepared to play that hard. And I'm thinking, somebody's going to break down. And the problem, if you take away the free throw, is that guys were just going to foul and foul and foul because they were not going to give up that last bucket. They were not going to give up that last bucket. And then you run into, we can never end this thing, and somebody's going to get hurt.
Well, sometimes the foul, if you're that good, a foul can't do nothing. I'm getting that bucket.
Look, let's don't pretend like NBA players, NFL players don't play games after leaving Hennessy parties other than All-Star games.
We used to go straight from the club to the game.
Let's don't kid ourselves. Hell yeah, did they fix something. This was awesome. I used to love the All-Star game back in the day with Magic and Isaiah, and they never played it at this level that they did in the fourth quarter. This was, what people forget, man, we think that fans are all into stars. fans are into great competition.
Yes.
Period.
Right.
That's what attracts fans. Great. Oh man. And let's say they were acting. It's a great acting job. It fooled me, and it fooled a bunch of other people. And so all it is a TV show, and they pretended like they really cared.
Yeah.
And that's infectious. And people are, oh man, the stakes actually matter. They want to win this money for these charities. You could actually hear the kids in the charities cheering and all that energy in the building. That was amazing. I hope they improve on it even next year, or if it just stays the same. But yeah, I think the NBA All-Star Game is now once again an event that is kind of must-see TV for me.
My bad, I didn't answer the question. No, they haven't permanently fixed it.
Thank you.
That's my issue, saying they permanently fixed it. I think they can keep this for the next 3-4 years. I don't know that it'll ever be as good as it was this year. You had because you had you had Kobe's presence. You had wanting to honor Kobe. You had wanting to win the first Kobe MVP of the All-Star Game. And it was brand new. I think that was what made this so exciting. It was so organic.
You're going to roll a basketball with
the dynamic of winning each quarter had a lot to do with the competition of the game. I'm sorry. You got to talk about that. If all players know that coaches that teach winning quarters in the NBA and NBA regular season games, they come out and play hard as hell the first quarter.
Micro goals.
The dynamic of winning every quarter made them play from the beginning of the game. I think that was the best part about it.
You made it digestible. That's real.
But Stack, you think you can roll a basketball out with the best basketball players in the world in a fourth quarter and say, hey, get to this score first, and they're going to be like, I really don't care.
Not at all.
They don't care.
They going hard. They going hard.
What is the greatest attribute of all athletes? The ability to compartmentalize. We have a switch, and we're cognizant of that switch. We can turn it on.
All it takes is to get crossed over.
Okay.
Get a jump in your face. It's going.
James Harden got nutmegged and didn't even trip. He laughing. He like, all right, thank you for Trae Young. Let me just show you how. And James Harden's uber competitive. Doesn't matter. He knows he's going to go home and get right and get buckets next week. Here's the thing. Since Whitlock's my dog and he seems like he's championing this the most, you my man. I'm gonna take you to the crib, all right? So you're older than me, but my son right now falls victim to this. He collects monster trucks and they break down sometimes. And I got this little case of crazy glue and I put them back together and he thinks they're all good. And guess what? It's still broken, but they roll. This is still broken. It's rolling. It suckered you. It suckers my son. But it ain't fixed because those guys are doing acting jobs. Just some are greater thespians than others. And you're going out there and saying now this is fixed because they did a better job of selling us. I'm sorry. It's too much fluff for me.
Where's the acting?
The acting, the fact that Giannis will go. You think Giannis is going to lose a game if he really was invested, going just 0 for 2 in the fourth quarter?
Well, you got to think.
Okay, that's what. You think James Harden lets people just?
He had about 10 dunks in the first quarter.
Come on, when the game's on the line. You think James Harden lets people just go between his legs and like, oh, that's so cute.
That was early. That was early.
Okay, that's my point. It's all they picked their spots.
But the fourth quarter was real.
But these are the top 24 players.
Are you telling me
think they picked their spots?
But what I push back on is your suggestion that the fourth quarter was not legit. This is just about us. We want to win this damn game. We want to be the first one to 157. I don't think there was any acting in that. I think it was legit. I want to show you I'm better. LeBron and Giannis going back and forth at each other, that was about, I want to show you I can stop you and I can score.
Look, there's two hards. I can go hard for me, I go hard for y'all. And I know the difference. And look, in the Pro Bowls, I go hard for y'all. And look, the money's on the line. Man, stop. Nothing you're going to sell me today is going to be greater than what I already have or what I can accomplish later.
Well,
that's the problem for me.
James didn't let him throw the ball through his legs.
He didn't. But it happened.
And Trae does this during regular season games.
Yeah.
I've seen people make James look worse during the regular season games. So it don't matter. I don't think they sold. I think, like you said, it's not completely fixed. I think the end of the game was wrong. But I think they're real close to having it fixed.
I'm going to tell you the other thing that you're underestimating, and I'm not this sort of sentimental, but again, these guys have been blessed beyond belief, financially, athletically, and they spend that little weekend connecting with the kids from that charity, and they know it's important to the kids of that charity. And I'm just sorry, these guys are human beings. And it was important to those kids, and it became important for those guys. They didn't want to let those kids down, in that fourth quarter. I really believe that.
Let me prove that wrong. And this is going to sound heartless, but let's be real. Those little end zone kids, I got tired of them because guess what? They kept putting the camera there, and then there's a showrunner saying, even the kids know what's on the line. Guess what? The kids are sitting there like, man, come on. Oh, yeah, we got to. We're like, you know how the game goes, man. And those kids
but
are
to the players' credit, I was out there. It was probably the night before the game. It was probably like 10% of the players. A lot of those guys was in resting. A lot of guys took the game serious.
Yeah, brought the party
Sunday's
home,
game.
right?
They probably went out Friday, but Saturday night, they was at home resting for that game.
It's also the beauty of the new All-Star break. They got like 4 or 5 days now where they can
all
go
of them
do what
leaving
they
All-Star
wanna
and
do
going
now.
on vacation
Exactly,
now.
exactly. So they can get their party on there.
All right, coming up, rumors are flying that the Raiders want to throw a ton of money to lure Tom Brady.